Hey there, dudes. This is Jasu, and today I'm going to be trying out Pillars of Eternity. This is a bit of a departure for me in terms of not just the games I play here on the YouTube channel, but just games I play in general. I'm not really super experienced with this style of game, so this could be quite the trip. So yeah, Pillars of Eternity was a big Kickstarter success. It's probably been, I don't know what year, a few years ago it's been now, since this sort of, took off on Kickstarter. This is sort of a revival of the old Infinity Engine RPGs, which were like sort of not really a series, sort of like a little subgenre of computer RPGs back in the day. Games like Baldur's Gate was the big one, Neverwinter Nights, Planescape Torment is another one a lot of people talk about, and which are all games that I never really played back in the day. I wasn't really a huge PC gamer, like we're talking like back in probably the late 90s, early aughts, or about when this sort of type of game was popular. And back in those days, I wasn't a huge PC gamer, or really much of one at all. And to the limited extent that I did play PC games, it was mostly, FPS games. It was basically just two PC games. I played StarCraft and I played Half-Life, and that was basically it. Now, I've tried a few times to actually get into this style of game. I actually own a physical copy of, I think it's, was it Neverwinter Nights, or no, it was another one, an older one, I think. Maybe it was Neverwinter Nights. I can't remember. I've got a physical copy of it kicking around here somewhere. I picked it up at EB Games one day for it was like $1, and it was like maybe it was Neverwinter Nights, Neverwinter Nights Diamond Edition, I think it was. And anyways, I tried to play it, and I just couldn't. I don't know what it was. It was just like I couldn't figure out what I'm doing. I just ended up getting just killed by enemies in the first basic area, and I had no idea what I was doing wrong, or whether it was speccing my character, or whether it was just stuff with the basic gameplay systems I didn't understand. So I don't know. I made sort of a cursory effort to get into it, but I think I only played that for like an hour or two before giving up on it. And then I tried again, I think a couple years ago. I tried to play Baldur's Gate, and again, sort of the same basic thing, or I just couldn't figure out how to play the game. I remember there's you had like this toolbar at the bottom of the screen, which had all of your basic actions that you could click on, except there's no text on it. It's just a bunch of weird runes on these buttons at the bottom of the screen, and there's no mouse over tooltips or any text whatsoever, so you just click on the thing to figure out what it does, and half the time it doesn't do anything, and I don't know why. And if most of this is laziness on my part, I understand just my unwillingness to go and read a fucking manual. But couldn't really figure out Baldur's Gate, couldn't really figure out. I feel like it might not have been Neverwinter Nights, but something like Neverwinter Nights that was released at about that same time. And now here we are, a couple years later, again, trying to do this exact same thing with Pillars of Eternity. I have slightly higher hopes for this one, just because it's a modern game. So I expect they'll actually, just sort of the basic amenities of modern games here, hoping that they'll teach me how to play. And even if they don't, I'm a bit more experienced with sort of, figuring out stuff in games. After my experience with La Mulana in particular, I feel like I can figure out any game in existence at this point. So we're gonna start a new game and see if that's the case. And already, holy shit, I'm overwhelmed. I've actually seen this already in a little test recording I did. We got 5 different difficulty settings. So apparently, there's easy mode, which is strongly recommended for those who are new. So this is me right here, basically new to real-time party-based RPGs. And which, you'd think that would be the one to go with, but I don't know, I feel like I have too much pride or something. Really, it's just strategy, really, isn't it? I know strategy. I feel like I can at least handle normal. Yeah, Infinity Engine. I was afraid I got the name of the thing wrong, but Infinity Engine games. That's what all those old games were called. And maybe some of the ones I listed weren't Infinity Engine. I don't know. But, it's the same basic genre. CRPGs, you might call them. But, and then you got, Path of the Damned. So, it's basically, that's way beyond. Or, I don't know. It might be fun for a video. Just a very short video on my Pillars of Eternity experience. But I think easy or normal is what we're looking at. And we'll bump it up a bit. If it goes horribly, we can always restart on easy. We got Trial of Iron, which is basically hardcore mode. I don't think I want to be doing that. And then expert mode. I did some reading up on this, and it sounds like it disables a number of helper features in the game for people who want to use their own faculties and intuition, which is I kind of like sometimes if the game's simple enough, I sometimes enjoy like figuring out games. Like I figured out how to play what was it? I played Magic Carpet with like no like reference to the manual or anything whatsoever. That was a fun game to figure out. And it's like various puzzle games. Like I figured out Satana on the GBA on my own, and that was kind of rewarding. For super complex games like, CRPGs though, I feel like I need those helper features. And from what I've read online, the features that it disables with this expert mode are things that I would really want in the game anyways, like stuff like being able to see how much health your characters and the enemies have, or like the radius of your AoE abilities, and like mouse over tooltips for what your stats do and that kind of thing. So I think, we're going to go normal, non-expert mode, and non-Trial of Iron, and we're going to see how that works out for us. And we're going to start things up. Yeah, from what I understand, the guys who made this game, like the big selling point for the Kickstarter was a lot of the people who worked on this game, or a lot of the same people who worked on like a lot of those old Infinity Engine classics that I mentioned earlier. I never did try Planescape Torment. I know a lot of people who really like
blindly for the path on a
Planescape Torment, so I've been meaning to try that one for a while, but I never got around to it.
Upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern, his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
With a caravan full of travelers like that, you think that a fallen tree would not be that much of an impediment. Just, okay, guys, help me push this tree out the way. And it's like, I don't know, it's Fantasyland, so maybe it's like a giant mega tree or something. But, I guess that's it. Yeah, I guess we've got full voice acting here. I was kind of prepared to do some reading here, but hey, if they're going to do my job for me, all the better. Oh, right, you get to make a character. Fantastic. Oh, this is actually slightly different. So I spied out, like, just as a test recording, just sort of, played a little bit of the game just to sort of make sure that I could record it and everything. Didn't really watch any of the cutscenes or read any of the dialogue or anything, so I basically, story-wise, plot-wise, gameplay-wise even, we're basically going into this completely blind. I have no idea what this game is about or anything of the sort, but I did go through character creation briefly. First time around, they actually gave me a black human female as the default character. And this time around, we've got this guy. The first time, when I saw that, I wonder if they were it was like some sort of political thing or whatever, but it seems like you just get a random character when you start up the game. I think I'm going to pick a girl, though, just because I like, playing as girls in video games. And we got all these races to choose from. I didn't actually look over character creation in detail. In retrospect, this might not have been the greatest game for a YouTube series. I actually have no idea what kind of character I want to create, so let's just check out what the options are. We got humans, who are, you know, humans. High resolve, very mighty. We got the Ao-Maua, who are even mightier. Largest of the Kith races. It's nice how they give you, like, the little mouse overs, so it's like, oh, yeah, that's what the Direwood is. Oh, that's what Valian republics are. I have no idea what a Kith race is. That would be nice to have a little highlight text for, but, you know, or unless... Yeah, they're not going to explain it. That's fine. Okay, so they're like ocean people. And they're super strong, and yeah, they're pretty big. And dwarves, who are not. Also very strong. Okay, so they got like the same stats, it's just that they're clumsier and hardier. And just as strong in spite of their small size. That's kind of awesome. I might want to be a dwarf. Well-traveled, that could be fun. Tenacity, that's a fun word. Okay. Elves, elves are stupid. I've never liked elves in, like, anything. Oh, elves are green in this game, too. They're, like... Actually, I think, weren't the elves in, like, Warcraft green as well? Or the night elves had, like, green or blue skin? On the other hand, speed and intelligence are kind of fun. We got... Oh, that is pretty cool. I think I've found a keeper here. Smallest of the Kith races. Not even civilized. Not even civilized at all. This is pretty cool. We're like this like something out of a Star Wars movie or something. Got the cat eyes. Oh, that's pretty badass. Mental intensity, sharp senses. Heck yeah. That's pretty cool. Okay, the Ao-Maua are pretty comparable in size. Oh, I guess they're the same size as humans. Godlike. Why would... that just sounds OP. Like, yeah, I'm gonna play through the game as a godlike being. Oh, and now they explain what a Kith is, right here at the bottom with the last race. The civilized races. Okay. I wonder if that's just like an English word or something that they made up for the game. That's the thing, it's like, yeah, very text-heavy, these old sort of CRPGs. Or I guess old-style CRPGs, since this game isn't really old. Or I guess it is old at this point. It's been like, what, probably a good 3 or 4 years since this came out? And actually, I believe if you go next from here, yeah, you can even pick a sub-race. So you can, like, be a moon godlike or a fire godlike, or... Oh, that's pretty cool, too. It's also got like kind of like a black shadowy mohawk going there, which is pretty cool. Ooh, and they just like execute people with low endurance, which is... Oh wow, that's a lot of stuff that endurance is. Okay, so it's HP basically. Short-term survivability, and when it goes to 0, you're knocked out. Yeah, it's HP. Got it. And as far as the Orlan go... Okay, so you can be like a little furry Orlan, or you can be like a little goblin Orlan. Original Orlans, deep forests and jungles. Oh, so I'm like a black hairy jungle goblin. We can't have, or I guess we're a female anyways. We can't have beards. What about the man? Oh, okay. Oh, I thought it said lack of facial hair or something, so we can have a beard if we want. I mean, I guess I could read through like all of the text here, but that would kind of take forever. So I think I'm mainly just going to go based on appearances. Like humans or I guess there are different types of humans. Okay, ocean folk. Yeah, that's what it gave me by default when I first went through character creation, is just female ocean folk, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty boring. Oh, we got... Oh, wow, that's like... How is that even the same species? It's like they look... Or, okay, I guess like the facial features are completely different. It's really just the skin color, which... I guess is, yeah, not that... Yeah, you can totally have different skin colors within the same species, so okay, I guess it's not that radical. Ooh, warlike. A warlike race. Customer specialized in urban. Very rare. Yeah. I think I'm just going to go with my gut here. And go for the... or I guess we can see what kind of elf... Oh, there's only 2 types of elves. What the hell? That is not very many types of elves for, like, a fantasy game. Like, it's like... Well, what was it? Like, I'm sure Warcraft had at least 3 or 4 types of elves. You had, like, the wood, the dark elves, blood elves, and the Tales of Maj'El, which I've been playing a fair bit recently, has, like, 5 or 6 types of elves. Oh, hey, the Death Godlike actually looks completely different here. I think I like the look of the female Death Godlike better, though. In fact, I think I like the female Orlan better. I think that's still coming down to those two, and I don't know, I just don't like the idea of being a god just playing through games as... It's like, you know, godlike. It's like kind of like god mode. That's like basically be cheating if I picked this, wouldn't it? I don't know. Although being a Harbinger of Doom is pretty cool. But yeah, we're gonna... Yeah, I think we'll go as a humble, wild Orlan here. Now we've got our class to pick. Right, so what are our... Let's actually read the lore of like what we've got here. So we're like forest and jungle people, separated from Hearth Orlan for thousands of years, or for 1,000 years. Genetic differences, blah blah blah. And we get a bonus to, or after we're hit by a will attack, which is attacks that are mentally based, e.g. mental paralysis. Okay, so we're like good against like mind powers and stuff, which doesn't really give us much guidance in terms of a good class. Like, I don't know, I guess if we're like jungle people, I feel like, or I don't know, like barbarian, what is it? We've got a penalty to might, so I think barbarian might not be the way to go, although I do like the furs. Looks pretty badass. Again, I'll probably just go based on appearances. And I do like the idea of just being like a tiny midget brute and madman. Or madwoman, as it were. That is a... They should change that based on like the gender you pick for your character, but whatever. Yeah, sounds pretty badass, but I don't think that's the right pick for an Orlan. Chanter, which I'm guessing is like some kind of bard. Or maybe a priest. Yeah, super lame and gay. We don't want to be that. Cypher. Ooh, Mind Hunters. That could actually be an appropriate one for someone who's like resistant against mind powers. We can like have mind powers of our own and... Ooh, to manipulate the soul? Maybe I should just read this out loud. Maybe not. We'll just keep going fast. Animus at heart. Druids tap into... And then he, of course, after saying, no, I'm going to do it anyways, druids tap into a spiritual power that flows through the simple living things of Eora. Plants, animals, and sometimes even living stone. While not necessarily religious, druids do have a reverence for the natural world and a keen interest in understanding its mysteries. In most cultures, druids are understood as a sort of primal magician, but among the Glanfavans, Nasitaki, and many rural cultures, they may have high positions of influence and authority. Okay, so that's also kind of, appropriate for like a wild, jungle-dwelling, I'm gonna say, like, furry cat person. The eyes are kind of cat-like, aren't they? The ears, not so much. It's like a goblin cat person. Let us transfer... That's the thing. It's like we have the might deficit, but if we could, like, transform into, like, I don't know, a bear or something, that'd be pretty neat. Fighter. Fighters are boring. I don't want to be a fighter. Monk. Probably just as boring. That's a dumb-looking outfit, too. Paladin. Not really appropriate. Priest. Not really appropriate. Ranger could work. They are warriors of the woodlands and masters of the hunt. Always partnered with soul-bonded animal companions. Okay. I like the idea of having an animal companion. I don't really like the outfit. It seems too, I don't know, what's the word? Just, not appropriate for like a wild, like jungle dwelling, goblin cat person. But, I assume we'll be able to change our armor throughout the game, so it's not a huge deal. Partner with soul-banded animal companions. They can be found in wild spaces all over the world. As their lifestyles often tend toward independence and isolation, it is rare for rangers to become an integral part of a large fighting force, though they are often employed as scouts and guides. Okay, and we get an animal companion who don't do much damage. Okay, so it'll like tank for me while I sit back and plink arrows at things. I like the idea of being a rogue. I think that might have been part of my problem when I first played Neverwinter Nights. Is I kept on, I tried a couple times, and both times I went with, I think one time I went with a rogue, and I forget what I did the other time, but yeah, the rogue did not work out for me at all. Felt like just like a shitty character that couldn't kill anything, and I kept on dying. And again, I'm not sure if it's like a balance thing, or if like you're supposed to be part of a party before you fight anything as a rogue. Anyways, they're vicious killers feared for the brutality of their attacks. They can be found as often in dark back alleys as the heart of battlefield skirmishes. Though unpredictable and undisciplined, rogues are commonly used as shock troops. Why does shock need to be... Oh, okay, so I guess it's just, automatic that they throw those keyword highlights in there. Or maybe that's the thing. They have it's like not like regular shock troops in the universe of Pillars of Eternity. They have actual like lightning troops. Anyway, so as part of a surprise assault, their withering attacks breaking enemy ranks and morale. Rogues tend to congregate in larger numbers in cities where they can be steadily employed as mercenaries or hired muscle. Yeah, it doesn't sound very much like a jungle person. Neither does a wizard. Kind of leaning towards the ranger or maybe the druid. Though again, the sword and shield, like melee thing, won't really be good for us with our low might unless we get like a good animal transformation. Actually, do I get more like details on this? What types of animals can I transform into? What if we go next? Okay, we can choose. So yeah, we can be a bear, a boar, a cat, a stag, or a wolf. Okay, so this wolf is fast. The stag has a AoE attack, it looks like. The cat is also fast, like the wolf. Oh, and the wolf can knock people out. Okay, that's kind of neat. The boar regenerates lost endurance, which is health. Okay, so he's like a tanky dude that does dots. Yeah, damage over time. And the bear, it's a bear, yeah. Damage reduction, it roars, it's a bear. That's pretty cool. I like the idea of being but can I get a pet bear? I think that would be even more appealing. Or do I not get a pet to start off? Wounding shot, slows enemies, marked prey. I think I like the idea of slowing people down to like, playing keep away with them. Okay, and then we get our companion. Oh, we can get an antelope, a bear, a boar. This is all the same stuff that I could transform into as the druid, except... Or we've got, we got the wolf, stag... Yeah, the antelope is new. So yeah, we can get an antelope. Wow, that's a lot of text. I feel like I'm going to be saying that. That's what these games are all about, really, so... all of this is the same for all of them. All rangers, blah, blah. Yeah, that's like the same. So, okay, the only important bit is the bit at the top. Defense, so he's like a tank. Defense, so he's like also a tank. These sound like exactly the same thing. Antelope have naturally superior defenses, but the bears have unusually high damage reduction, which gives them protection to all forms of damage. Or unless defense is different than damage resistance in this game, which I guess it is. Yeah, I guess that's the thing, is the combat systems in these old Infinity Engine games. It's like very closely tied to like combat in Dungeons and Dragons. I understand it, which is another thing that I like never got into. I've never played D&D like in my whole life, so I have no familiar whatsoever, whatsoever with like, you know, Dungeons and Dragons or the way combat works in any of the different editions of that game or anything like that. So yeah, all of like the mechanics of these types of games are completely foreign to me. And that's the thing. I think the older games sort of presumed a lot of familiarity with Dungeons and Dragons on the player's part. So like if you didn't know D&D, you sort of had some catching up to do when it came to like combat mechanics in those games. So that might be the case here as well. Although, yeah, they do explain things with these little... I love the little mouse over highlight, like, glossary thing here. Is really cool. Leaning towards either the kitty cat or the stag. Let's see. I like the idea of AoE. I feel like that's, like... Yeah, as like a... What is even this class? We're a ranger. That's right. Oh, and we get to name our animal companion? I don't even know. Or we went with the stag, right? What's a good name for a stag? I'm going to have to come up with like names right on the fly here. I should have planned all this out in advance. What's a good name for stag? I mean, I guess a stag is like kind of like basically a horse with horns. So I think... I don't know. Are there any famous stags I could name this thing after? Like... Bambi's an obvious one, but I don't like that. Now, if we run with the idea that a stag is basically like a big horse, then Roach might be appropriate. I think I like that because then I won't forget his name that way. So yeah, we're gonna go with Roach after the horse from, or I guess after all of Geralt's horses from the Witcher series. Okay, and now we got some stats. And yeah, I really should read all of this. So it's... Oh, and I see. It's got like a... Okay, highly recommended for Ranger. Okay, thank you for that. I actually would not have expected like might to be important. And actually, it did not show that when I did... Yeah, because when I did my first little test recording, I flagged... expert mode for the hell of it, and expert mode does not give you these little highly recommended little stars here or anything. So glad that we didn't go expert mode. Okay, so we're gonna need some might. We got 15 points to spend. Wow. Okay, so we need a bit of intellect. We don't need the resolve, which means... All right. Oh wow, I can even like take points out of it all the way down to 4. We'll go... I think we started at 11, so I guess we'll keep that. Okay, well, let's say like 15 and 15 and see where we go from there. Really, you don't need Constitution. I guess not if you're just going to sit back and let your animal buddy tank for you. I guess, I mean, since I'm kind of a novice, we'll like go to 12 for Constitution. That doesn't give us a lot of points left, and then like 2 and 2. Now we can go down to 11 for Constitution. Maybe even pull one out of Resolve if they say that we don't really need it. And put it into Dexterity. Yeah, 15, 11, 13, 15, 13. Those seems like good numbers there. Maybe could pull another one out of Resolve and take a penalty to what? Concentration. Oh, this is like the spell casting stat. Yeah, we don't need this at all, do we? Or I guess spell defense is kind of alright. We'll leave it at 9, I think. Could even go down we'll keep Constitution at 11. I like the... And yeah, 13... Or actually, we could even go down in this a bit. Yeah, Intelligence... I would have expected that to be like a... What does it say? Okay, so it's like logic and reasoning, so it's not like JRPG int, which is like for spellcasting. Although I don't expect that we'll have a lot of area of effect talents. Although I guess duration will be a thing. We will have the dots. Yeah, we'll leave. We'll leave intellect up there. Dexterity's probably good, and I guess might or perception. I think it makes sense thematically that, yeah, I think the Orlans were like high in perception and low on might, so we'll leave might a little bit lower. Yeah, this looks fine for the fuck all that I know about the way stats work in D&D or this game or whatever. And, oh, we get to pick our culture. Okay, so we can like learn a little bit about the game world here. The Aedir Empire, which is currently the largest and most powerful force in this part of the world. It is centered around the equator and has a tropical climate. Though the Empire has colonies in numerous areas of the world, Greater Aedir is at its heart and houses the majority of its human and elven nations. Right, I had a bit of trouble with the phrasing of that. Okay, we can be on the Deadfire Archipelago, consisting of the nation of Nazitak, dozens of Almaua settlements, and hundreds of lawless pirate-infested islands that stretch along the southern sea. Deadfire is home to boreal dwarves, Almaua, and a mixed variety of other races. Deadfire is it archipelago or archipelago? I think it's archipelago. I feel like that's the way I've heard it pronounced before. We're gonna stick with archipelago. Archipelago is the last stop for anyone headed east. A multitude of monstrous sea creatures infest the ocean beyond, making travel virtually impossible. We can go to the Ixa. Oh, and they got different. I was so focused on the text, I didn't notice we get like different armor for each of these as well. And I'll probably make my selection based on that. Oh, I think I already want to be from the white that wins. Oh, it'll give us bonus perception too, which I kind of like. Yeah, I think that was a stat that our class already likes, although it's already quite high. Although I don't know, that could just be our sort of like our character's thing. Will be like a very perceptive, wild, furry cat goblin thing. Nevertheless, I will read all this just to learn about the world. Located in the northeast of Air Glanfath, the Ixamitil Plains are a large expanse of fertile savannas that are extensively farmed by human and Orlan residents. The Ixamitil culture is one of the oldest in the world, though one of the least imperialistic, having spread out little over the past several thousand years. That'll give us some resolve, which we don't really need. Old Valia? Yeah, we'll go with Valia. Once the crown jewel of the southern seas, Old Valia is now the crumbled remnants of an empire of warring merchant nations. Counting many humans and dwarves among their ranks, the Old Valian countries are still forces to be reckoned with and are proud of their rich cultural heritage. We can be smarter if we decide to be from there. Rawatai. Yeah, sure. Dominated by the Almoa nation of Rawatai, the Gulf itself is host to a number of nations, most of them Almoa, Orlan, and Dwarven. Although these countries are relatively young, they are some of the most advanced colonial settlements in the east. The Gulf is a land of riches and resources for those who can take them, though the entire coast is often pummeled by violent storms. The Living Lands is the mountainous region in the large northern island renowned for its diversity of plant and animal life. Its weather is unpredictable and its ecosystems vary dramatically from valley to valley. The Living Lands are home to an assortment of races in a variety of colonial and independent settlements. Ooh, that'll give us some might, which we kind of need. Or I guess, yeah, might and perception are both sort of good stats for our class. I really like the armor here, though, so I think we'll probably go with this. The White That Wends, a large cracked southern expanse of polar ice. That is really not an appropriate outfit for like a, like an icy northern climate then, is it? Or is that not like skin underneath? Or I guess Orlan are furry, so I guess maybe they don't need the extra protection from the cold? Yeah, whatever. We'll just roll with it, although I bet that the armor's the same for the other races as well, so I don't know what their excuse is going to be. Whatever. The White That Wends is home to pale elves and small colonies of daring explorers, outcasts, and adventurers. That sounds cool. That sounds like exactly the kind of character I want to play as here? Well, virtually no plant life grows in the White. It is home to many hardy species of dangerous animals that forage from the sea or prey upon each other to survive. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to go with the White that wins. Oh gosh, even more. Okay. Can be an aristocrat. So this is just like... Yeah. Not really like universe-specific lore or anything. Just sort of the background of our character. Probably going to be a hunter. Thrill of the chase. Could be a drifter or an explorer. Yeah, none of these, aristocrat, laborer, mystic, merchant really fits with sort of like jungle wild person I'm trying to create. I think I'll be a hunter. Stealth and survival? Hell yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Oh, and now we get to pick the appearance. This is something that else that never really like jived with me with the couple old Infinity Engine games that I played, Neverwinter Nights and Baldur's Gate. It seems to be a thing with those games where you pick a portrait for your character, and then you also customize like the character model for your character. Or in some games you don't. I think Neverwinter Night. Or actually, I don't think in either of them you could really customize your character model at all. It just had like one, or at least not very much at all. But there was also a limited selection of portraits too. So no matter what you did, you'd end up with stuck with like a character model that doesn't really match your portrait. And it seems like that's kind of the case here too. Like unless I change my character to match the portrait, it's just not gonna look right. Oh, this is all right apart from the color of the fur. I guess I could get like, or can I? I guess that kind of matches, except I like the darker fur actually. That's too dark. That's all right. Too light. I really do like that shade. Maybe a bit too dark. That versus that. Default is pretty good too. That's not... Yeah, I don't know, just something not right about that shade. I think I like this one actually. But yeah, then can I find a portrait to match it is the thing. Not really. Yeah, these are like the 3 female Orlans we have to choose from, and I think this one isn't even a wild Orlan, so... Yeah, kind of lame. Or I guess we could just go... And yeah, we could even get stupid with it. Like, we could pick this as our portrait, and it's like, why is that even an option? Why even have the portrait? It just seems kind of, like, antiquated at this point. It's like it's there just because the old Infinity Engine games had it. Or I think I've played other old RPGs, and can't think of any off the top of my head, that also did, like, this portrait selection thing, and it just never... It seemed right to me. Oh, there's some... Oh, those are male Orlan, though. Yeah, there's only 2. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like this. Like, why not? The character models look... Like, in this day and age, character models, like, look fine. We have good graphics now. Why not just use a close-up of the character model? Oh, you know what? That actually looks almost kind of close. But actually, if anything, just because the colors sort of match... It almost looks like closer. I guess that... less so there. It's almost closer than this one. Yeah. So, like, this one's closer in color, but the skin is wrong, and it's not even the right type of Orlan, it looks like. I'm gonna go with this one just for the hell of it, I think. Oh, and no customization of the head either. Oh, that's lame. No options for facial hair, no head options, no hair options. Although apparently clicking that... Okay. That's kind of amusing. You guys see that right there? So there are options, they're just kind of hidden and stupid. I don't think that's supposed to do that. We'll leave it off, just because I don't want my character looking stupid for the whole duration of the game. Oh yeah, so I guess I should have maybe explained a little bit about sort of, yeah, the idea behind this series too. I don't necessarily promise that I'm going to finish this. This is just sort of me, like I said, kind of discovering the game. Yeah, basically just like a blind casual playthrough, essentially. Maybe I'll finish it, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll decide to stop the series and keep playing off camera. Who knows? We'll just see where this takes us. So far, I'd say this is probably a bad idea since we're like half an hour in, more than half an hour in, and I haven't even finished making my character.
Easy now. Leading the way. Attack!
That's actually not bad.
Easy now.
I shall lead us.
No, definitely not.
Let's go!
Time to see and not be seen.
Eh? I've got this.
That wouldn't just... that doesn't sound right at all.
Kill them all! Keeping an eye out. Yes. Now I am leader of the group.
Sinister. I would call that more like, I don't know, snobbish almost.
Stand together! Shh. I'm here.
Like, yeah, benevolent. I don't know, like a commander, soldier. Or I guess it's just the line. I guess they all have their kind of like stand together, rally the troops kind of line,
Yeah?
but
Follow me. Let's go.
see, I would call this feisty more than this
Time
one.
to see and not be seen.
Yeah? Follow me. Let's go.
That actually sounds pretty good. I like that.
They'll never know I'm here.
Definitely not.
Just say the word. I'll lead the way. You'd better run.
That's pretty good too. I like
I'll go on ahead.
that. Sounds like that matches the character pretty decently.
Follow me. Let's go. Nice and slow. Just
I
say the
think
word.
I think I like cocky actually.
I'll lead the way. You're mine.
Yeah, definitely the cocky voice. Oh, and the name. Probably some variant of Jasu, like we always do. Or do we do like full first name? Or I guess they're all gonna call me like the full Jasu Bakuhatsu if I do that. We can spice it up a little bit at least. Like I often like Jasuho for female characters, although another one I've done that could be a decent one. Or actually, if we wanted to sort of like fantasy it up a little bit, we could place the dash with a comma. Okay, I think we're kind of getting there. Maybe. Okay, I like that. And then one U or two? I think I like it better. Yeah, that's a good one there. Well, definitely like that. That's an Orland looking name, if nothing else. Yeah, we'll go with, I guess, just Jasu is how you pronounce that. Okay, Jasu, the level 1 wild Orlan, or the female wild Orlan ranger from the White that wins, who is a hunter and has a cocky female voice and a portrait that doesn't match the character model whatsoever. But that was going to happen anyways. Let's get into it.